Jumping right into it, we'll move ahead. I won't spend a lot of time talking about the macro uranium thesis at the moment. Most of you, I'm sure, understand what's happening in the market right now. So suffice it to say, the market is drastically undersupplied, plain and simple. Based on current projections, 15 years out from now, we're anticipating up to a 250 million pound per year deficit in the market. And there's only one real way that we can fix that problem. It's through new discovery. So what does it take for a junior exploration company to make a new discovery? I think it comes down to three primary components. The first thing being a land package. That we have. We have 1,700 square kilometers in the southwestern Athabasca Basin, which is historically very underexplored. We have 5 drill holes on this entire package, where if you were to take that and put it onto the eastern or northern side of the basin, you'd probably have up to 10,000 drill holes and anywhere from 500,000 to 1.5 billion pounds of uranium. Historically, it's only been underexplored due to lack of access. But the great thing is now, as new discoveries have been made in the southwestern quarter of the Athabasca Basin, such as Arrow, RRR, JR Zone, new infrastructure is being put in place, and now we have road access all the way onto our properties. So again, looking at where we are right now, we're sandwiched between high-grade discoveries and deposits such as Centennial, Arrow, RRR, JR Zone, Shea Creek, Spitfire. Perfect situation, we have the land. The next component is the team, of course. You want a group of people who have the expertise, have the experience, and preferably have a track record of exploration, discovery, and making exploration programs move forward successfully. Between myself and our VP Exploration, Darren Slagowski, we've been part of 3 high-grade discoveries in less than a 10-year span in the Athabasca Basin, including Arrow, Spitfire, and Gemini. Beyond that, we keep building up our team with qualified professionals, most recent being Peter Dembicki, who came on last week, and of course our head of IR, Knox Henderson, who spent over 25 years in the capital markets arena, helping to raise money and finance companies just like ours to keep moving forward successfully. The third component, of course, is money. You need money to explore, plain and simple. We've been very successful over the past 10 months. Our team has rebuilt the company, restructured the company, refinanced twice to the tune of $16.5 million in the past 6 months, and we're pointed in the right direction. We have all the components coming together to get out there and aggressively explore and do what we've done in the past once again. So this just outlines the potential that we have on our land package. On the right side of the screen, what you can see is the eastern side of the basin, and in that red circle is about 1.5 billion pounds of uranium. On the left side of the screen, you see our land package that covers that exact same depth range, and that's what our goal is to explore this land package and unlock the potential, build shareholder value by making multiple discoveries in the package that we have. So just to zoom in a little bit more, looking at our primary target, at the Coyote target, I like to say that there's 4 things that we really focus on when we're looking to rank and prioritize our targets in the Athabasca Basin. It really comes down to what we were taught in university, to be honest. What you see on this screen right there, in that green outline, is the Coyote corridor. It's 8.5 kilometers across. The first thing we want is the right lithology. We need the right rock type. More importantly, we want a transition in that rock type. So you can see in the blues, those are metasedimentary rocks. So they're rich in graphite, sulfides. They produce the reducing atmosphere for the uranium to actually be precipitated. What you see in the pinks are igneous intrusives. Those rocks come up through the Precambrian basement rock. They get the fluids moving, start that hydrothermal process, and really get the chemical reaction starting. The next thing we look for, you can see the dashed black outlines. We look for a regional structural complexity. We want to see some kind of breakage in the rocks where there's dilation. It gives the accommodation space for the uranium to actually be precipitated, but also allows those fluids to start moving around and really make things happen. The third thing we want is a conductor, a very strong conductor, and that comes from that metasedimentary package. So that's what you see in those green lines. More importantly, we want to see a break in those conductors because as that chemical reaction takes place, the graphite and sulfides are actually consumed. So at that point where you can see those 3 strong conductors coming together and breaking right over top that big blue circle, that's exactly what we want to see. The fourth thing we want to look for is an alteration signature. We want to see that that chemical reaction has actually taken place and turned that dense Precambrian rock to clay, more or less. When you see those 4 things line up on top of each other, geologists start to get pretty excited, plain and simple. And that's where we're at right now. So I am a little bit of a pessimist when it comes to spending shareholders' money. So we've gone a little bit further. We've gone past that, and we've done what's called a 3D inversion of the gravity data, the alteration signature that we were looking at. What that does is it removes the 450 meters of sandstone on top and shows you what's happening at that unconformity surface, which is our target depth. What we came up with was 5 targets across that 8.5 kilometer corridor. And honestly, 2 of them are the biggest gravity surveys I've ever seen in the Athabasca Basin in my 17 years. So these are amazing. We've bounced these off of multiple junior mining CEOs, other explorers who have made discoveries in the Athabasca Basin, and I haven't found somebody yet who has had something bad to say about these targets. They all want to see them explored, and we couldn't be more excited, plain and simple. This one really stands out to a lot of people. So going back in our history as explorers in the basin, what you can see on the right-hand side of this screen, and these maps are the exact same scale. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see the geophysical data that we use to target the Arrow uranium deposit, which is 348 million pounds of uranium. Those little red outlines are the actual deposit projected to surface. That target is exactly what we looked at in February of 2014 and decided to put the first drill hole into that deposit. On the left side, looking at the Coyote target, the gravity anomaly, the alteration signature, is almost 4 times larger with all of the exact same characteristics that we used to target the Arrow discovery. And we keep building on that. We're putting more ground EM in place to make sure that we know exactly what's happening with the conductors. We can pinpoint exactly where we want to intersect those conductors at the unconformity. So everything just keeps lining up more and more as we progress across these targets. I didn't include the other targets, but we do have 8 other Tier 1 targets in the Athabasca Basin as well. So over the next few months, we're going to be upgrading those to the same level of confidence by doing ground gravity to pick out that alteration signature, doing some ground EM, again, to make sure that we know exactly what's happening with the conductors. But at the end of the day, we have all 3 of the components in place to make a discovery as a junior exploration company, and the targets couldn't be better than what they are right now. So, thank you very much for your time.